All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Limitless Mindset podcast. I wanted to take a quick moment and say thank you so much for joining me on this, and hopefully today we drop a little bit of value for you. I was having a quick coaching call with one of my clients the other day, and it brought up a good topic that I figured I would share with some of you guys today in hopes that it would help you guys within your personal life and within your business. One of the biggest things I think that is extremely important in all aspects of life, if you're looking to make some solid progression moving forward, is your guys' ability to identify the roadblocks that are in front of you. If you guys think back right now and everything that's happened to you guys in life and how far down the road you guys have traveled and all the lessons you guys have learned and all the advancements you guys have made in your lives, your relationships, your career, all areas and all aspects, at some point you guys have faced roadblocks in your guys' business. The ironic thing about this, though, is these same roadblocks also at times can be the hardest thing for us to spot and identify, even if they're right in front of us. So one thing I want you guys to do is start to get really good at realizing when you guys might be stuck. That's going to be the first step in really putting this into action for you guys, is your ability to identify when you are at a place in life where you no longer have the ability to move at a quick scale and progress, whether that be a relationship, whether that may be personal life, whether that even may be mental health, and really start to sit down and ask yourself questions. One of my favorite personal exercises and the way that I do this is I get out a pen and paper. Whenever I feel like I've reached a point in life where I might feel stuck, I feel like I'm making a little bit of progress, but the progress hasn't been at the length or the quickness or the accelerated time frame that I hope that it would happen, or maybe, I was experiencing rapid growth, whether that be personal development, fitness, could be in, growing a team, scaling a company that we have, finances every year. When things would go rapidly and then they kind of plateau, I start to realize that I reach these roadblocks, and they're going to happen inevitably, right? Anytime you guys go to grow a company, there's a whole lot more infrastructure that's need to go into place compared to when it was just you as a solopreneur, basically. Maybe you guys were an individual employee for yourself at some point when you guys first started a company, and then you added one person, two people, 5 to 10 to 20. And before you know it, you need a full-blown systems and processes in place to help your guys' company run. And at some point, I guarantee you guys probably reached some roadblocks, when you guys were single and you started dating somebody and things were going good and you were dating and things got a little bit more complicated when you guys decided to maybe have a family and grow, right? There's going to be certain roadblocks that are going to be in your way that need to be overcome because things aren't going to work the same or just flow as easily as they were prior to you when you were just being single. So one thing that I love to do is really learn to identify these roadblocks. I think the problem is a lot of people tend to not keep an eye out for these roadblocks, and then when they hit them, they just accept the fact that they've maybe plateaued and haven't been able to grow or scale, and ultimately it leads them to a place of frustration because they're not seeing the progress that they want. You might see other people around you growing and scaling, and it makes you question, am I doing everything I could be? What am I doing wrong? And the secret to this is really sitting down and figuring out what it is that is overcoming you. The mindset, if you are a $3,000 a month employee right now, is going to need to change. You're going to have a roadblock. You're going to have a mental roadblock that you're going to need to overcome and figure out, hey, what do I need to do to basically make $1 million a year? If you guys are making $3,000 a month, realistically, you're going to need to shift your mindset and say, what do I need to do to make $3,000 a day? If you guys are looking to hit that $1 million mark, it's going to require different levels of systems, processes, thought process. It's going to require a different level of your guys' internal self-talk to yourself on what it's going to take to achieve that. So this is the part where a lot of people tend to get hung up, in my experience, myself included. So what I really do now to avoid sitting in this place of, I call it like complacency land, basically, when you kind of hit these plateaus, you hit these roadblocks, and I haven't been able to move past them, I tend to just sit down and get a pen and paper out and start to let my mind kind of wander on what things feel like they're slowing me down. I take a look at what is a drag going on in my life right now. Is it work? Is it personal? Am I not, taking enough personal time out? Is this a roadblock where I'm spending way too much time working instead of personal? Do I need to balance that out a little bit? In my relationship, am I not spending enough time with my wife? Am I not spending enough time with my kids? Is that going well? What do I need to water in that relationship to help it grow and flourish a little bit more? When it comes to work, same thing, right? Am I running into these roadblocks at work because I don't have the right people here? Is it maybe I need to go and acquire some additional knowledge or go seek out a coach or somebody that's already a little further down the road for me in this area, rather than just sitting in this place and hoping that something comes along to help me overcome this? So for you guys, if this is something that resonates with you, I'd really sit down and start to do this exercise, because you guys might find that, you can overcome these a little bit quicker. You're going to hit them inevitably. We all do at some point in our life, especially you guys are looking to grow. You guys are having life changes, roadblocks come up. Nothing in life is easy. Everything in life is hard. Everything in life is challenging in most ways. And so your ability to identify really what's in your way, what doors are closed right now for you that you need to open to get yourself through to that next level, is going to happen way quicker when you actually are playing from a defensive mode and you're out there looking for these obstacles as they arise. Like I said, the biggest, thing that I do, the biggest exercise that has been incredible for me is just getting out a pen and paper, and I just start writing it down. And I write down the things that are going really well. I'll draw a line right down the center of the paper. I'll write down things that feel like they're going well for me. And I'm going to start writing down the things that I feel like I'm a little bit frustrated with. Maybe these things are going good. And then you can really start breaking it down problem by problem as you're identifying these things that either don't feel good or just are not working in your business. You can start getting a little more granular with each one of these things and really mapping it out and saying, okay, if I need to overcome this, what are some possible solutions? And you really free up some time. Give yourself 30 to 40 minutes in your guys' day to do this. Maybe you do it once a week. Maybe you do it once a day. If I'm running into a point where I'm really trying to make some massive progress on a project and I feel like it's been a struggle, I tend to do this daily almost. I'll sit down. Some people might even call it journaling, where at the end of the day, I'm going to write down things that went well for me. I'm going to write down things that I feel like were very challenging, things that were really hard, things I feel like are not progressing quick enough for me. And then from there, I'm going to basically break it down into subcategories, and I'm going to identify, okay, why is this not working for me? What am I lacking that is not helping me get there? Is it just a simple mindset? Is it a simple shift in perspective in the way I'm approaching that problem? Is it a simple bandwidth issue? Do I need to bring in more people to help me overcome this problem or solution? Maybe do I need to step back? Am I dedicating too much time on this issue over here and not allocating a little more of my time over here to unlock this challenge that'll maybe help me get through this other problem? And really taking the time to sit down and map these things out for you guys can be a constant game changer for you. The better you get, the more you practice at this, the easier you guys are going to find that as these objections, as these obstacles, as these roadblocks begin to hit you guys, you can sit down immediately and start writing out what the problem is, lay it out in front of you in an organized manner, and then you guys can sit down and start writing down the possible solutions and problem solving for yourself, rather than just sitting in this place of complacency where this roadblock is holding you here and you're unable to break through because you're just hoping something else comes along and changes it. This is giving the power back to you now to do something about it and seek out the answers or seek out the resources needed to overcome this problem. This right here, guys, will unlock a few extra levels for you guys if you feel like you've plateaued right now. For example, if you're in a business and you're out of bandwidth and time, sit down and say, what is it in my business that is stopping me from growing? Do I have a marketing issue? Do I have an advertising problem? Do I have an employee problem where my employees are not putting in as much work as they could be or as dedicated? Do I have a culture problem in my business? Do I have a cash flow problem? This is where when you guys sit down and you really take a little bit of time, you guys will find that your ability to move past these roadblocks, your ability to identify these roadblocks is going to come so much easier for you, and you guys will find the progress and the growth that you guys are looking for at a quicker pace and a quicker scale. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I just wanted to drop this. Like I said, it was a little kind of nugget I took away from one of my coaching sessions with one of my clients, where they said, they feel like they're stuck, and we really sat down. This was an activity that we did together. We sat down and mapped out in their day, in their business, in their life, all of the things that they felt were not going well. And then underneath that, we were able to sit down and identify at least 7 changes that they were able to make immediately this week to start seeing the progress in their business and also in their personal life. So hopefully it's helpful for you guys. As always, if you guys found any value in this, if you guys know anybody that might benefit from hearing this, feel free to give it a share. I love to hear some of your guys' feedback. I love to hear some of your guys' comments, and I love to hear your guys' wins as you guys share them with me. And so end goal, right? You guys are out there winning. And as always, guys, if you guys are looking for personal coaching, I do offer some programs. You can find them over on www.blakeclark.com. We have a private coaching group. It's super cheap, and I think you guys will get a ton of value. We do live calls every week in that. If you guys are interested, again, www.blakeclark.com. And as always, I hope you guys have an incredible week, and you guys get out there. Let's crush it, guys.